two, three, go. Bismillah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, guys, today I will be doing a podcast with Mr. Nick, who is a teacher, IT teacher, and English teacher in SMK. Without further ado, Mr. Nick, may you introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Nick Jenkins, and I'm originally from the United States. I'm a programmer, systems engineer for many, many years.
So, you're from Florida, correct?
That's right, Florida.
What was the motivation for moving to Indonesia?
My plan was never originally to move to Indonesia, actually. I was just traveling Southeast Asia, and all my friends in Thailand were Indonesian, and they all told me I should visit here. And so one day I did, and after I visited, it was, wow, amazing place.
And you decided to stay.
Yep.
And like, did you get recruited by IDN, or like, did you want to come?
Actually, I kind of found IDN by accident. There was another teacher, and I would volunteer on the weekend at a different school, help out. And one day that guy, I was kind of friends with him, he said, hey, I know of an IT school that's Islamic school, and IT and English. And he said, you're a mualaf from from the United States, and you're a programmer, so you're the same three things. It's perfect. He told me to visit, and I don't think I want to, but I visited anyway, and saw this place, and it's amazing.
Yeah, well, maybe different perspective, but
No.
yeah. I kind of forgot to introduce myself because So my name is Abrisam Maulana. You can call me Abrisam. I come from 8th grade, and yeah, that's it probably. And like, why do you like programming?
I like programming because it's logical. In a program, it's one of the things in life that if you do it correctly, it works. And it works very well. Everything makes sense. Everything is very mathematical. Everything is very this. And also, I like the creative part of it. I like designing stuff.
So like UI UX design?
Yep, UI UX is my favorite thing to do, but really, as far as the IT world is concerned, UI UX jobs don't pay very well. Yeah. It's back-end programming, so that's what I focus on, is back-end, database systems, big data, artificial intelligence.
Yeah, same. I actually more attracted to back-end rather than front-end because HTML and React is just so confusing.
Yeah, it's difficult. Back-end is one language, front-end is multiple languages.
Yeah. And wait, let me think of a question. Like, what do you teach? What specific IT topics do you teach in IDN?
Well, what I'm best at currently is JavaScript. And I'm really in love with JavaScript because it can be used universally. So if you want to make a database, you can use MongoDB, which is JavaScript for database.
Yes.
Node.js is JavaScript for backend. If you're doing front end, you can use JavaScript to do that. If you build a progressive web application for Android and iOS applications, JavaScript.
Yeah, like the modern stack,
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, cool. I heard that you teach networking too.
I know networking. I really don't teach it because honestly, the networking teachers here are better than me at that. That's not really my specialty. I know it. I did it many years ago. I don't think it changes much. Yeah, the networking program here is great.
Yeah. Wait a second. Wait, I'm confused. Wait a second.
Here, let me ask you a question.
Yeah, sure.
So what do you enjoy programming?
Well, I enjoy like the when the end when you finally get
The
it
final
right.
result.
Yeah, when you finally get it right and
That's
it
one
works.
that's one of the things I don't like about programming is it's boring, 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 and then exciting, awesome.
Yeah, when no errors.
Yeah, when it's finally finished, it's exciting. But then after that, you start a new project, and it's another 6 months to 1 year of boring.
Yeah, like I have so many side projects I can't even count. Like, yeah, I start a project and then just get bored, move on to another one, get bored, and just repeat that process again and again.
Hmm. So your English is pretty good. Where did you learn English?
From YouTube.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I learned a lot of Bahasa Indonesian from Netflix. So
Netflix.
yeah, because you can watch a movie and put on Indonesian subtitles and read and translate. So
Yes, like cool. Um, wait. So you teach web development, right?
yeah, as well. But mostly last year I was trying to teach backend. I was trying to teach Node.js and MongoDB.
Oh, like
Because one of the things that I was focusing on was, do you know WebSockets?
yes, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, so in the school, most of the other teachers were teaching PHP. And in PHP, you can't use WebSockets. And these days, modern applications work on real time.
Yeah.
If you want to make video calls, if you want to make a real-time streaming application, something like that. If you want to make a real-time game, like a first-person shooter, that's instant. WebSockets is required for that.
Yeah.
And so, but they weren't really teaching it here. So I started teaching real-time communication and building that into applications.
Yes. So, what projects have you made, like programming?
I've worked on many projects, worked with different companies. I contracted for Google for about a year and a half. I worked over there.
What did you work as at Google?
I was an architect for algorithms, which is more boring than you can imagine.
Yes.
It's a fun place, boring job. And I worked for IBM for about 2 years, I think.
What is your opinion about job opportunity in IT?
Currently, because of the pandemic, it's great. It's never been better. But I'm gonna tell you this: English is kind of more important at the moment than an actual IT job.
Yeah, I agree. Like my dad is trying to get an IT job because he already has a management job and trying to get another job, and he has like passed another test, like a very hard English test. Like I forgot what's the name, but
Well, if you look on like jobs, DVD Job Street for like local in Indonesia jobs, for the salary, the pay is pretty low. I think on average for a regular programmer is about maybe 6 to 7 million rupiah a month.
yeah,
And in the United States, the same programmer with the same qualifications, the same exact job, but in the United States pays, I think it's about 55 million rupiah a month.
50.
Yeah, that's about the average for the same job. And the strange thing is, it's a remote job also. So it's a job you could do from here. You can actually get hired for that job. And the qualifications are the same as for the job here. The only difference is you have to speak English to get that job. Yeah, to get that job over there. And so, really, I also want to see, a lot more Indonesians get that opportunity. I think that's a great thing if you can get a job over there and bring some of that money into the country here.
Yeah.
And and one of the nice things too is even though the pandemic is slowly ending, the opportunity, a lot of those jobs are still remote. they're still available. In fact, there's more of them now than there were before.
More remote jobs, right?
Yeah, there's so much available. It's pretty easy to get one.
Yeah. What do you think is the difference between Indonesia and USA, Florida?
The weather is about the same. It's a little more hot.
Does it snow in Florida?
No, it doesn't snow. I'm from South Florida, and it doesn't snow there at all. It's very hot. In fact, it's a little more hot than here.
Yeah. I've heard that Florida is
It's
crazy state.
it's extremely hot in the summertime in August, like around now. During the daytime, you can take an egg, to lure.
You can cook it.
You can cook it on a car.
Wow.
That's just parked outside.
What about the culture?
The culture is extremely different. Everything over there is more fast-paced. Everything moves quicker. I would say also, though, at the same time, there's a lot of cultural sameness things going on. A lot of people listen to the same music, watch the same movies, do the same things. Going to work, doing your job, going home. Most of that's the same. A lot of people think traffic here is the worst. I can tell you that traffic in Florida is just as bad as here. It's about the same.
Yeah. And what about the food?
The food differences is interesting. So the Indonesian food is far better than most of the food. But one of the nice things about the United States is the availability of different types of food. So in the United States, there's food from France, food from Japan, food from everywhere there, and it's because everybody from everywhere goes there.
What about the characteristics difference between Indonesian and US people?
In U.S. what?
US people, the people.
Oh, the people?
Yeah.
I noticed. This is a funny observation. I've noticed because the food is better here, people eat more of the food and get sleepier faster.
Yes.
People here get tired quickly, and I've noticed I'm guilty of it too. I will dig into some food, and it's amazing and delicious. And after you eat a lot of food, you feel like you want to sleep. But as far as people goes, people are also more friendly here. People are nicer.
Yeah.
If you look at crime statistics in the United States, it's a dangerous country. Everyone's angry. If you read the news, it's a crazy place.
Yeah, and also because of the guns.
Well, I actually don't really blame the guns, but I think there's just a lot of crazy people there.
Yeah. Like conspiracy theorists and stuff.
Yeah, there's people that believe all kinds of things. I think there's also too many people that are too bored.
Yeah, and too much time on their hands.
Yeah, I think if you get too bored, too much time on your hands, you end up causing trouble. It was good to stay busy.
Yeah. So, what should we prepare for going to take a job abroad?
To take a job abroad, most remote jobs will help you prepare. And there's different recruiting agencies, and they will help you walk through all the steps and help take you through everything. I would say if you're going to move abroad for that job, if you're going to go change countries, do your homework. Learn a bit about it first.
Yeah.
I know one student wants to go to Japan. He loves Japanese things.
A weeaboo.
Yeah, he's a bit of a weeb, but I've noticed that he doesn't know about the actual living culture in Japan. See, the culture in Indonesia is not that different than the United States, but the living culture in Japan is very different than here and in the United States.
Yeah.
And so it's a very organized country. If you break social rules, they get angry at you, and they.
Yeah. Any tips for us to improve our IT knowledge? Explain.
Absolutely. Stay away from YouTube and go to the source of whoever made the technology. So in YouTube, there's a lot of programmers who they have a solution. They teach you something. But in programming, there's so many different ways to do the same task.
Yes.
YouTubers mostly teach the longest way.
Yeah, so more video time,
More video time, but
More ad.
also they hope that the person gives up trying to build it and contacts them and tries to hire them to build it because they know they can do it.
Yeah.
So they do it to get money that way too. The best place to learn for a particular technology is
Straight to the documentation.
straight to the documentation, and not just any documentation of the organization who made it. So like if you're going to go into web development, Mozilla,
Yeah, MDN docs.
MDN Docs
Yes, I know
is
that. It's amazing.
it's the core. If you want to do something cutting edge, the latest
Latest technology, the latest API.
yeah, you go there to read that. The difficult part about that is it's so big.
Yes, digesting all of the information.
And also, if you're looking for something, finding it takes a while. Sometimes it can be hard to find what you're looking for.
Yes. So like, thank you so much, Mister, for joining me on this podcast, and I'm sorry if I offended you or like said something wrong in any way.
Oh no, thank you.
And I'm also sorry if I'm kind of like stuck, not moving.
Yeah, mashallah. It's okay, brother. It's alright, man.
Because I'm like I don't know, I've never met a native before. Like the only time I've met one was a Polish guy in my home.
Oh, in your house?
No, not my house, like in my home.
In your neighborhood?
Village, yeah, my
your
neighborhood.
area? Okay.
I met him in a grocery store.
A Polish guy?
Yes.
I'm half Polish, but...
Oh, maybe that's why.
Well, I don't know, but I've never met somebody from Poland.
The guy like is white. I don't know how to judge people. Anyways, so yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and also thank you to the viewers for watching. Maybe that's all from me and Mr. Nick. Thank you so much again. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you next time.
Waalaikumsalam.